Olivia, and we're here at Whole Foods Market in Bellevue, Washington. Okay. So first we're going to get some Yukon Gold potatoes for Spanish potatoes. Yukon Golds are delicious for roasting. They're not as starchy as russets, and they have a really great flavor. So we're going to get 4 of these. Now we're going to get an onion to caramelize and Spanish potatoes, and you don't want, it says a large onion, but you don't want to get it too large, because we have some jumbo onions at my house, and about 1/4 of it will make enough for about 3 burgers. So, put this in. Now we're going to get some roasted red peppers, organic, and they're just basically put in acid, I think, and it's much easier than roasting your own peppers, which can be a pain. Now we're getting some frozen peas, which are basically peas that are just put in a bag and put in the freezer to make them last longer. Much easier to do than shelling your own peas for this, and they're just as healthy. Okay, so now we're back at home. We've got all our ingredients out, and first I'm going to show you how to cut an onion. And onions are really weird. They're all round, and they're kind of hard to cut, and I've always had trouble with it. But then when I went to a PCC cooking class, they taught us a good way to cut onions that they actually use as a cordon bleu. So what you do is you take your onion, and when it's whole, it's going to have the North Pole, the top where all the skins sprout off, the South Pole where all the roots are, and then it's going to have East and West. So what you want to do is you want to cut it in half from the North to the South Pole, and then peel it. So then that's what I did. And then I'm only using half an onion in this recipe, but to show you where the cuts are going to go, I'm going to use my finger and demonstrate on the whole, on the half. So first you would turn your onion like this and make 2 cuts with your knife that go this way and this way, but don't meet the bottom. Don't go all the way to the bottom. And you would turn it on its side, turn it like this, and then you would make a cut like this, all the way across the onion, but don't let it touch the bottom. Then you would turn it like this, and with my onion that I've already prepped, I just slice like this. And sometimes it falls apart, and this trick can be a little hard to master, just grabbing the onion, and I know I still haven't. But it's a good trick to use when you need to dice. When you get down to the end where all the ends meet, you can kind of just turn it on its side and roughly chop it up, and then go through it with your knife and chop it up more finely. And that is how you chop an onion. Okay, so now the 2 of us are chopping up roasted red peppers. When you chop up a red pepper, there are many ways you can do it, but what I like to do is lay it down really flat and just get it into thin strips like this. And then, after I've got it in strips, I'll just kind of pick them all up and turn them, and then chop them like this. And once they're kind of all in little strips, you can just kind of hit them with the knife again and have little pepper squares. Ow! Fork. And so that's my way of chopping peppers. She's got her own way of chopping her peppers.
But yours look better.
That's not true. It is. Yes, it is. So Olivia's doing some garlic right now for the potatoes. Now I'm going to show you how I make my little potato half moons. Oh, it's stuck to the knife. Okay, so they look like this. And we're going to put them in a pan with some olive oil. So what I do is I cut them in half. And then I just make about 1/2 inch thick, maybe 1/4. More like between those two, and then just make some slices through the potato. Try to go for thinner ones just because they'll cook faster. And I used to do it where I would slice a thing right out of the whole entire potato and then cut it in half. But this is a lot easier because then you have a nice sturdy flat base. But if you like to move it the other way, do it that way. And that's pretty much how we're going to make our little potato half moons. So right now she's mincing garlic. If you don't know how to work with garlic, what you would do is you take a garlic clove and you put your knife on it and you whack it with your heel. Either that, or if you are a little scared of that, then just press down with your heel, and that works just as well. You peel it, you cut it into little slices, and then after that you just run your knife through it, and eventually it'll make little fine chops like those, and then you wipe it off your knife with your finger. Okay, so now I've got olive oil in the pan and potatoes, and they're really hot, and I have to season them with salt and pepper. This recipe is, you really have to watch it carefully, because every stove is different, and potatoes are very, it's hard to like get the exact cooking times of potatoes. So the very first time I made this, I made it in Oregon on my grandma's stove, and it took us about half an hour to get the potatoes, plus her biggest pan was about this size, so 2 batches of potatoes. So we were at the stove for a little while, but because our stove is different, I have no idea how long it's going to take to cook these, so I just have to watch these for a while. So the recipe that I have says 5 to 15 minutes, and so it's very relative. So yeah, these will just be on the stove for a little while, and once I kind of flip them over, then I'm going to put in the onions and caramelize them. Okay, so while Olivia is watching the potatoes as they cook, I'm going to add the onions so they can caramelize. Make sure you do these at the same time, and make sure you get a friend or a sibling or parents to help you. Because honestly, when you're cooking, a lot of times you want to have independence in the kitchen, but you can't really pull off a meal without having someone in the kitchen to help you get things done on time, at the right time, and it helps you just not freak out. And you're with your friends or your siblings or whatever, and it's always fun. Now I'm putting the water on the peas. The onions are done, and I just want to get enough water so that it covers the peas. Put them on the burner. Get the lid out. Bring them to a boil. And then once they're boiling, we cook them for 3 minutes, and then we drain them, and then we put them in this bowl where I'm just going to combine all the ingredients. So we're dumping the peas into the mixture. So what it is 4 Yukon Gold potatoes, half of a large onion, which we caramelized, half a cup of finely chopped roasted red peppers. We also have 1.5 cups of organic frozen peas. And now, to finish it off, I'm going to add paprika and cayenne pepper, 2 very common spices in Spain. So now we have half a teaspoon of paprika. Yep, it doesn't have to be exact. And 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. That one right there. And then mix it all together. And we have Spanish potatoes.
Take a taste.
Let's get a fork.
Smell.